Dog, when I tell you, nuclear bombs couldn't even do nearly as much damage as what OnlyFans did to our society, bro, I knew.
Okay, this is one of my pauses. I get it. However, I feel like this is about to lead into that territory. This isn't the first time that somebody sent me one of his videos.
And I'll touch that nigga.
What? No. Okay, I paused at the wrong time. No, I think this is gonna be one of y'all remember the black. Oh my god. Y'all remember the black YouTube? That's what it was. It was the problem with black YouTube. I think it was. I feel like this might lead into the territory of like don't watch it. But let's see.
OnlyFans was getting bad when I seen people not even giving life a shot at the age of 18 and going straight to OnlyFans once the clock hit 12. If you thought that Reddit, TikTok, 4chan, and Twitter did damage, just wait till you hear all the damage that OnlyFans has done in this video. Now,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, that's 2 pauses, but like just chill. I think all of those forum sites have done infinitely more damage than OnlyFans. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
For the first damage that I think OnlyFans has done to society,
there's literally been like serial killers that have posted within those forums that started there and been.
Will you upload
like,
the whole Elden
let's
Ring?
just chill.
Society is that it's normalized a lot of weird behavior. We live in a time where people get their back blown out in front of a camera for thousands of people to see, but it's somehow okay because they make a lot of money. That is not normal, and that is not something that we should normalize / celebrate. Look, I understand that these OnlyFans girls be having Lambos, numerous penthouses, a few rollies, and more money than I could ever imagine, but at the same time, they also have zero dignity if they can proudly brag about how their cheeks are getting clapped online for $4.99 a month. What?
Right. Here's the issue though, right? This is the concern.
Are getting clapped online for $4.99.
The price tag has to be paid by someone. The paywall is the great. Y'all stop counting my pauses. The paywall is the greatest thing in human history because you literally have to go through this to gain access to whatever that you're seeing. So it's just kind of like pay to get in. I'm not gonna complain about the conditions of the club when I paid to get inside, if I know what the conditions of the club are going to be before I get inside. You know what I'm saying?
$99 a month. Why are we flexing our cheeks getting obliterated online? I just don't think that is just weird to me. Another thing about OnlyFans is that it completely normalized adult films, aka porn. Like, I swear back then, being an adult film star used to be one of the most frowned upon jobs ever. But OnlyFans has made it completely acceptable. Like,
I mean, it's nothing wrong with that because like I'd rather, you know what I'm saying? Listen, there's layers to this, right? It's layers, okay? Everybody don't need to be so overly horny. I get that. But niggas be gooning regardless. And I only recently added that term to my vocabulary to show you how much horny niggas affect our society. Just in general, like people be horned up. Porn was not invented because they just decided, oh, we need this. No. This was at the request of the people that were horny. They saw a market for it and decided that they was going to put 100,000 10 toes down on that market. There's no market for something that doesn't have buyers. And when you have this many buyers, the market is going to blossom. That's how it works. That's how any industry works. And the adult film industry is no different. It's only going to increase. And as people consume more of it, they're going to get more and more desensitized and find themselves asking for weirder and weirder shit, in my personal opinion. That's why I always tell people not to consume it at all. I don't put it on OnlyFans workers. I just say don't consume it in general. I don't think it's a good thing to consume. But I mainly divert that advice to men since they are the primary consumers of it, especially young men too. So it's just like, I mean, I could be upset, I guess, with the producer of the content, but they have no production value if there's no consumer.
If somebody told you that they did OnlyFans,
you mentioned the girl that just started her OnlyFans at 18. Like, she didn't try nothing else, but there's a 35-year-old man buying her shit even though she 18.
Genuinely wouldn't,
like, it gotta be some standard.
Be surprised.
Those don't count as pauses, by the way. They were in too rapid succession. They were simultaneous. Stop.
Nowadays. But back then, that would have been one of the most shocking things to ever hear. Another weird behavior that OnlyFans has kind of normalized is spawn camping young women until they turn 18. For example, y'all remember when Danielle Bergoli started an OnlyFans 1 week after she turned 18 and she made $1 million within just 6 hours of it releasing? That means that there were some grown adults out there that found Danielle Bergoli attractive attractive as a young girl, but
He's
they
saying
wouldn't
what I
necessarily
said.
say that. So they chose their next best option, which was to wait for this young girl to turn 18. Now they can see her naked legally. Like, the concept of that being legal is just absolutely strange to me. And whoever bought that OnlyFans once she turned 18 needs to be locked up ASAP no Rocky. Like, I just find that insane, because there's no way that the demographic of these people buying Danielle Bergoli's OnlyFans were like maybe 18, 19, 20, 21. They had to be like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, maybe even some 30-year-olds in there.
He just said whoa, why did he throw that in there? Like it was like an additional.
We know damn well.
Why did he say even 30? Like that wasn't the youngest out of the two age groups that you just mentioned. Why did he say it like that?
That a lot of these dudes that bought this OnlyFans didn't just randomly stumble across Danielle Bergoli the day that she turned 18. These dudes most definitely found her attractive as a young girl, and they just spawn camped their way until she made this OnlyFans. Now they can see her naked legally and go ham on the meat. Like, that's crazy to me. That is absolutely insane. There's also numerous TikTok girls out there who have also made OnlyFans once they turned 18. And they made bans because of these weirdos also. Like, it's one of the weirdest things ever. And this shouldn't be something that's like normal, you know? And as I speak, there's probably some 16-year-old TikTok girl out there that plans to make an OnlyFans once she turns 18. And there's probably tons of creepy old men waiting for that day to happen.
Well, you also need to, explore the possibility that a lot of them who may start that at that age, which most don't, but a lot of them who may start at that age aren't going to have any success at all. Like, just like any industry, y'all see people that are the most successful within that field and think that you can replicate it. And the harsh reality is, no, you are keeping that fucking day job. You are keeping that side college campus job. You are keeping that whatever supporting means situation that you got. I think at best for most of these creators, they might be able to find some level of like stability in like an additional side hustle. But it being like your main thing, it's the same with streaming or content creating or YouTube or anything like that. Most people are not going to be the massive success story that you see on the few examples of the blogs that you might see saying, oh, OnlyFans creators are getting this much money or this much money. 9 times out of 10, they're not having it happen like this. They're going to make maybe a couple $100 at best, I would probably say, and then end up dropping it at some point due to lack of success or overall interest going somewhere else.
Which, it's disgusting.
Is it crazy that I can respect the hustle of being a stripper and not of?
Yeah, it is crazy. Because they both kind of consist of the same thing. I would say it's even more revealing to be a stripper and more like twice as dangerous. But yeah, I think if you respect one, I mean, why not respect the other?
If I'm being real, I think the age of OnlyFans should be at least 21, but obviously that never changed because right now the age to sell adult content is 18 years old.
I do think the age of adultism as it stands should be outside the range of teen. I think at some point, maybe in the next 100 years, we might raise the legal age of an adult to 20. Hopefully one day.
For OnlyFans to change their age, the whole law would have to change as a whole, and that's never going to change. And since we're talking about weird behavior from OnlyFans, there's a lot of lies that goes on with just the business itself. Like, there's a lot of grown women on there lying about being 18 and 19 years old to sell more subscriptions, which is just absolutely insane. Even though those are legal ages, I still think it's weird to lie about your age to sell more subs. For example, do y'all remember that one NPC TikTok girl, Pinky Doll?
Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good.
Yeah, but it's feeding into that like young thing that a lot of the dudes are into.
Gang gang.
So she actually used to lie and say that she was 19 years old to sell more subs, when in reality, she was 27. And this actually happens a ton on Twitter. You'll see mad girls talking about they're the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans. Whole time, they're 47 with 6 kids. Like, it's insane. A girl could legit be 67 years old with the saggiest yitties of all time. But for some reason, she's in every Twitter comment section talking about, I'm the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans.
Using the same screenshot to prove this point. And at the same time, I understand, but I think there needs to be way more regulation on social media about this shit though, because this shit is just finding its way everywhere. I'm gonna be honest, it's just annoying to see it. So I think this is like a what do you call it, like a platform issue or whatever the case is, because it's very, very difficult even when it's not in your algorithm for you to still see something like this on Twitter. On Instagram, it's not really a problem. If you're not looking at this type of shit on IG, all I see is photography photos and like pictures of animals and shit on my IG for the most part, and the girls that I follow. But like on Twitter, literally you could try to be like the most wholesome shit, do like stay away from all the weird shit, and it's still gonna find its way. The algorithm on Twitter is absolute ass. It's abysmal.
Yeah, you were the hottest girl 51 years ago, Sharon. Hang it up. Like I said, I think it's weird to just straight up lie about your age to sell more subs. Like, that's just disgusting. And even the old ass men out there that are buying these girls' OnlyFans, they're also just as disgusting, if not even more disgusting. Now, another reason why I think that OnlyFans completely ruined society is because it made the internet even worse for women. Now, y'all are gonna call me a simp and white knight for this, but just hear me out before you run to the comment section talking about my forehead is big. Just wait 1 second. Just hear me out. The reason why I say that OnlyFans...
See, that's why I paused on the frame, because like he knows. So y'all saying it before I even got to the situation. You didn't even have to say that. I saw a couple of y'all, I just didn't address it.
Made the internet even worse for women is because it made dudes comfortable with telling random girls online that they don't even know to make OnlyFans accounts if they find them attractive. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like, if a girl goes viral and she just happens to be attractive, the first thing that dudes are gonna say is to make an OnlyFans. It's the weirdest thing ever. For example,
I haven't seen that, but that culture has existed before OnlyFans has been a thing. Niggas have been telling women to start stripping and start fucking for money well before OnlyFans was a thing. In real life, it's happened all the time. Or trying to proposition them with pimping, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like a deeply embedded cultural thing. It's been around for a very, very long time.
do y'all remember the Home Depot girl? For y'all that don't know, there's basically this girl who went viral on Twitter because she was attractive and she worked at Home Depot. And the first thing that dudes were telling her to do once they saw her was to make an OnlyFans. Like, peep some of these comments. Hear me out. OnlyFans and you equals rich. If you want to make an OnlyFans, real niggas wouldn't judge you. When OF? You're telling me that you see an attractive woman online and your first thought is she should make an OnlyFans? Like, I just find that insane. And honestly, I salute this woman to the fullest because at the end of the day, she chose her morals over money. She could have made life-changing bands off of OnlyFans.
Right, but see, unfortunately, the thing that we not addressing is like the deeper problem. This is the issue when it came to certain problems that you would see, like, at least for me, like, that's why like certain videos are really good to make, because the more and more you acknowledge or like realize certain issues, then you have to change your entire argument based off of the newfound like new problem. So you could say, okay, the issue starts here, then with more research and more experience you'll be like, oh no, the problem actually starts here. And you're like, oh, well, I got to change my whole talking point from this to this now. Then I do more research and I got more experience. Boom. Actually, the problem is here. No, actually, it's here. No, actually, here. So it goes from how OnlyFans ruined an entire generation to so long-winded, it's hard to wrap up or summarize your thoughts in like a 12 to 15-minute video. But you have to be like, oh, well, how do we get, young men to stop sexualizing women? Or how do we stop introducing sexual ideas to young men at such a young age, or whatever the case is? And then you got to start having all these conversations about shit that happened years before you even born. Like, that's just like a research paper level analysis of the situation, and that requires so much work and so much time and so much effort. Not to say that this don't require some time as well, but it's just like obviously significantly less if you could throw these other points in it as well. And it's not gonna get as much traction if you don't highlight OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying?
But she just chose to stick with her normal job and just create IG Reels and make YouTube videos, when the whole world was telling her to create an OnlyFans. Like, that is hard to do in a world where OnlyFans girls be having Lambos and just regular working women have Toyota Priuses. Like, that is a hard task. And this actually happens to a lot of women that create content, because if you look at their comment section on like IG Reels or maybe TikTok, or maybe even like if a girl is doing a YouTube Q&A, the first question that a lot of dudes are gonna ask is if that girl is gonna make it OnlyFans. Like, bro, it's crazy, because if you do have an OnlyFans nowadays, people are gonna tell you to find God, but if you don't have one, people are gonna beg you to make one. Like, it's a lose-lose situation. Another reason why I think OnlyFans made the internet even worse for women is because it also completely ruined Linktree / just women having links in their bio. Like, y'all know how on Instagram people usually will have like a link in their bio, and that link...
No, I've never. This is again another main thing. I've never actually seen anybody with a link tree in their... I mean, I have, don't get me wrong, but like, I never associated it with anything, to be honest. Maybe because I had Instagram when it was like first out. There was no link tree. There was no link anywhere else. I don't know what that means.
Maybe like a YouTube, Twitch, or maybe even like a clothing brand. Well, it's gotten to the point where if a woman has a link tree in her bio, the first assumption that a lot of dudes are gonna make, even myself, is that that girl probably has an OnlyFans. When in reality, that girl could just have like a Twitch link in that link tree.
Well, just click the link and you'll find out. I feel like this is like the perception thing he's talking about. Yeah, I get that, but like, just click the link.
Right? But since these OF girls are running so rampant nowadays and you can see them everywhere, every dude is gonna automatically assume that any girl with a link in her bio has an OnlyFans. Like, it's sad to say, but it's true. Another reason why I think OnlyFans ruined society is because it gave people this money over morals mindset. If there's one thing
that is not what gave people the money over morals mindset.
OnlyFans has taught,
Niggas will do anything for money. Anything. Well before OF, well before Twitter, well before social media, well before shirts were made for niggas to have on their backs. Whoever is the highest on the totem pole, or not even the highest on the totem pole, if you can offer anybody anything that is a necessity or a need, people are going to be willing to do whatever it takes to get it.
me, it's that
Morals ain't going to get the job done a lot of the time, okay? So this isn't even a societal issue. This is just like a what makes most sense situation. Not every decision that's made has to be liked.
people are almost always going to pick that dollar over their morals on any given day. The other day, I seen this post by Ruby Rose that said, "Yo bitch got morals, I got millions." Well, excuse me, Miss Ruby. I never knew that having no morals was a flex. But at the same time, I don't know what I was supposed to expect from somebody that said, sometimes you have to lie about your age when it comes to NFL players. At 16 years old, she had no morals 10 years ago, and she still has no morals today.
She was a child. She was a child.
It's insane. Don't get me wrong. Money is a really important
Wait, why did you skip over the fact that she was a kid?
thing in life, because without money, you can't do a majority of things. But that money shouldn't matter if you don't have any morals, / if it goes against your morals. Like, not all money is good money. Yeah, that money from OnlyFans might be good, but at the same time, it comes with a greater cost, which is your dignity and future. Like, I swear, people don't even care about their digital footprints anymore. Because, bro, OnlyFans literally leaves a permanent stain on your life. It leaves a mark on your future family, and I'm telling you, once your kids find out that you did OnlyFans back in your heyday, that's going to be a pretty odd topic to even talk about. Yeah, one blonde OnlyFans girl, Elle Brooke, was on Piers Morgan, and she was basically saying how her kids are going to cry in a Ferrari once they figure out that she did OnlyFans.
How would you feel when you want to have kids yourself?
Well, I mean, that's...
Wait, we're asking Piers Morgan how he feels about OnlyFans? The same nigga who basically... I'm not going to say nothing.
I don't really want kids right now. But at
You
least
will do. How old are you?
25.
Right, so you will do at some stage, probably, right?
Bruh, come on, man. We got to use way better example than Piers Morgan.
Maybe.
When you do, you're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, "Didn't you want to be a lawyer, mummy? What happened?"
Yeah.
And you go, "Here, but look at all my stuff."
They can cry in a Ferrari.
Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, that Ferrari is cool and all, it's pretty fast, and I mean, it does look nice, but once your kid gets out that Ferrari and walks through those school doors, it's over for that man.
I think this video would be so much better received if we could validate someone's consumption. If I spoke to somebody who vehemently disavowed porn their entire life and they've never consumed it and they've always thought that it's been a horrible thing and that young men shouldn't consume it and that they're not an advocate for it and they don't think that this is good for society as a whole and they don't think that men should be, given these or young men should be given these as like goals to go to a point where you untrain the young male mind from that, because everything that happens is an influence from what men want, the desires of men when it comes to the adult entertainment industry. The problem is the women that you're saying that are starting the OnlyFans, they're going to be sexualized anyway. And I'm not saying because you're going to be sexualized anyway, go ahead, get your bag, because I still don't think it's good in general. But I saw this video or this photo of Tracy Ellis Ross on my timeline, and a nigga commented on it and was like, it's sad that even at this old age, she's still begging for attention. I looked at the photo. It was literally a post-workout flick. And that was it. She didn't have to do nothing. She didn't have to do nothing. The reality that people don't want to discuss sometimes is even when people aren't trying to put themselves out there in a sexual light, they're still going to be sexualized. You making it seem like, oh, well, if it wasn't for this, society as a whole, as it stands, like we would all just be good without this one particular thing. That's just not the case. That's just not the case.
It takes one kid in that school to find out you did OnlyFans. Now your son is getting his head dumped into a toilet on a Wednesday morning before a PE class.
Your son's getting his head dumped into a toilet because he a bitch ass hoe ass nigga. That's why your son getting his head dumped into a toilet. That, or maybe he a pacifist. I'm gonna be honest. A nigga come up to me saying, "Oh, I'll make your mom suck my dick." He getting his cut the same day. Nobody in my entire life, the concept of bullying was so foreign to me just in general, I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, no nigga is coming up to me telling me about my family and he's walking away, just chilling. That's never happened. So, I mean, different niggas, okay? Different strokes, different folks. I get it.
You're telling me that it's okay that you get clapped online, pile drive, put in a DDT, and put in the walls of Jericho, all on camera for the world to see, but it's somehow fine because you have a Ferrari? That is absolutely insane. If you thought that bullying was bad now, just wait until 20 years from now. These roast sessions are about to get brutal. That's why you're ugly and your breath stinks. That's why your mom did OnlyFans. If your mom did OnlyFans, you might as well go mute because that's the safest option. Like, these OnlyFans pictures are never gonna leave the internet. I don't think people realize that. And also, just because you retire from OnlyFans, that doesn't mean that the pictures and videos retire as well. For example, do y'all remember the ex-adult film star, Mia Khalifa? The other day, she was actually on Twitter.
No, I don't. This is the craziest thing to me. Like, niggas be, and don't get me wrong. I know, don't get me wrong. I know some actresses. I know 2 in particular, but I feel confident in saying one of them because I'm not gonna say that, but like, no, I don't know who this is. I don't. Some of y'all be knowing these girls by name and like y'all know scenes and y'all remember the first time she made you bust a nut. Like, holy shit.
Talking about how the singer Tyla should stay away from these lil streamers because Kai Cenat and Tyla recently did a stream with each other. And
wait, what this got to do? What the fuck this got to? Oh, wait, I missed it. I was yapping.
Mia Khalifa. The other day, she was actually on Twitter talking about how the singer Tyla should stay away from these lil streamers because Kai Cenat and Tyla recently did a stream with each other. And when I tell you, all hell broke loose in the comment section because people just started dropping pictures of her getting clapped from like 8 years ago, dog. And that's what I mean by these pictures never really leave the internet. It doesn't matter when you retire, these pictures are always going to be there, dog.
Right, but to people who are actually using their brain, right? Like, I know there are going to be people that respond and they say dumb shit and they say like, oh, well, you did this, so you don't have a brain at all. And that's cool, but at the end of the day, it's like the actual comment itself was in reference to her being accosted, and while they're on a stream, I can't even exist in the space where a nigga don't, like, he asked her on a date while they were on stream. I'm not saying that she got assaulted on camera. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that in a space where we supposed to be having fun, there's no expectation. I'm just here as a guest. I'm just chilling, doing my thing. I got to deal with the wants of a nigga that's next to me, even though I'm his guest. Hey, let me take you on a date. No, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. It's completely fine for somebody to be like, you should stay away from the streamers. If you go on somebody's stream and he's one of the biggest on the platform and on the same stream while y'all supposed to be having fun, there's no expectation, lighthearted, we chilling, we friends, right? We friends. I don't have to be asked on a date by the nigga. That's not a crazy thing to say. Her being a porn star or not, like, I don't, what does that change anything? I don't get that.
Her getting clapped from,
I know that's not his point right now, but I'm just like, why don't we address the point that she was saying?
8 years ago, dog. And that's what I mean by these pictures never really leave the internet. It doesn't matter when you retire, these pictures are always going to be there, dog. That scene probably happened ages ago, but since it's online, that picture is now forever. And what's even sadder is that when these OnlyFans girls do try to be serious and turn their lives around, no one ever takes them seriously. Like, if an OnlyFans girl tried to transition into different content, like maybe YouTube or like Twitch streaming, it wouldn't work because a lot of people are only going to see them as that girl that was getting clapped on camera. I mean, it has worked in some instances,
but that's any industry damn near. Like, YouTubers being unable to transition successfully into music, for example, is another huge one. There are some people that can only look at the person who's making music as a content creator unless their music is just crazy good, which is extremely rare and doesn't usually happen. If you try to branch off into anything outside of what people know you for, they're going to look at you as just that. That's almost any industry. That's not unique to OnlyFans.
But a majority of the time, it's not gonna work at all. For example, there's this one OnlyFans girl named Nala who basically stopped doing OnlyFans to pursue religion. And when I tell you, nobody took her seriously. Did she get baptized in semen?
That's hilarious.
Biggest meme of all time. This is delusion at its finest. Your entire internet presence is you not choosing God.
Baptized in semen is fucking insane.
And honestly, like, even though it's messed up, these comments are messed up, I can understand why. Because number one, it happened all of a sudden. And number two, she used to get clapped online, and that was her previous internet presence. Like, she went from worshiping the BBC to worshiping the Bible. Like, that's a pretty drastic change. So it makes sense to why. Hear me out, because I actually think this is like a really great analogy. At first, cigarettes were cool, trendy, and everyone was doing it because, I mean, there really was no research backing up why cigarettes were bad. Yeah, it was smoke going into your lungs, but somehow in the 1950s and 60s, that was considered healthy. But now, 60 years later, we've realized all the negative effects of smoking from all these studies we've done, and I think the exact same thing is gonna happen with OnlyFans. It may seem cool, trendy, and normal now, but 40 years from now, people are gonna realize how much damage OnlyFans has done to their lives. I think these OnlyFans girls could even possibly go that route that a lot of these adult stars are going right now, where they're unaliving themselves because of their past mistakes, which is actually really sad to even think about. Even though I don't really support girls doing OnlyFans and adult content, it is sad to see people unalive themselves for their past mistakes. Like,
Bro, the male suicide rate is very high. It's not a lot of male OnlyFans creators, bro. Like, depression and suicidal tendencies are completely unrelated. Sometimes they are an influence, but not in all cases. And in most cases, they show that that's not the case. If I decided to make a video about that, and then I just provided zero as to like what the actual cause for that reality is, then it would be the same comparison. It'd be the same thing.
it's really sad, and that's been happening to a lot
Now it's not the point. Hey, yo, Benz, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm not even trying to hear you, gang.
of adult stars lately. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All that being said, this is gonna wrap up the video. If you guys made it this far,
We not gonna act like the sex industry doesn't influence those rates. I don't think it's about dumb. I just think it's a misdirection of the criticism. While I think most of this should be like, you should have different conversations at different levels about these things, I feel like it's hard to start critiquing which areas deserve the criticism when the core issue itself hasn't been addressed the entire time. And so you just, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna rinse and repeat this whole cycle of blaming producer instead of the consumer, because without the consumer, there's no room to produce this content. If there's not a want or a desire or a thirst, there isn't anything to quench.